Hello, everyone, and welcome. We're super excited to have you all here today. While people are trickling in, we are going to just have some small talk. Before we get started, make sure to change your chat settings so that it sends to everyone instead of just the hosts and panelists. If you'd like to join in on the chat that we will have here today. So Yao and Emerson, what is one brand that you're currently shopping with or currently browsing with that you're excited about the purchase? I think it's always interesting to see where people are shopping, what's drawing their attention currently. Mine is Loop earplugs, mainly because of the Eras tour with Taylor Swift. I purchased them back in last May, and I've been using them way more than I thought I would. And they're a great purchase. So, yeah, let's start with you. What's one brand that's kind of pulling your attention right now?
Yeah, so this you'll probably laugh, Mariah. I have just been having some like tough back pain, and so I've been eyeing these foot insoles from Fulton,
You
and
know I have
so
these, yeah.
I know. So I like I've got them all set up in my car, and I'm just like I just need to pull the trigger. I like every day I like walking to my office. I'm like, oh, my back hurts. I should really just just buy these things.
Yeah.
But
Another story last week, I was at my desk, very grueling desk job that I have, and I just readjusted and popped my back, and I was like knocked out. I took like a 15 minutes to lay down, trying to go to the chiropractor. I'm like, do I get workers' comp for just twisting my back on this? Like, what does that look like? Like, I was like, wow, I'm at that phase right now where I'm like, oh man, get me a walker. This is not gonna work, man. I think that the shoe is what I need. Dang, I'm gonna put that on my list.
Yeah, it's
we're getting
great.
too old.
Yeah, 32 is the new 65, so we're getting there.
Exactly.
Yeah, I've had some back pain as well. So I literally have their Peru slippers on right now, and they have really good support. And then I was walking this morning, had my full in insoles, and so yeah, I'm standing desk right now. The whole everything. I'm checking all of it.
It's all
So
right. Murad's gonna be on an inversion table shortly during the demo, just hanging upside down.
anything's allowed.
There we go.
Just to save the back pain. Okay.
Uh,
Well, I
we
think
did, well, we didn't wait. We didn't hear from
oh,
Emerson.
true. Yeah, yeah. What's your brand,
Oh, true.
Emerson?
Dang, I gotta put that on my list.
Yeah.
No, I'm a wannabe cowboy, far from it, but wannabe. But we just started working with the brand Carter Country Meats, and like meat's being delivered to my house, and it's like straight from the farm. I'm like, that is epic. So stoked to get some meats here shortly, and change it up a little bit. I'm a Walmart delivery grocery guy. Like, I love my food being delivered. So my idea, if I can get this straight from the farm direct, let's do that. So I'm stoked for some fresh
Nice.
headed my way. Organic beef. Let's go.
Yep. Fresh meats. Can't beat it.
Love to hear it. Alrighty. Yeah, if you want to pull up and start sharing your
Yes.
screen,
Let
we
me do
can
that
get on
real
started for this exciting.
quick.
Perfect.
Okay. It's been one
Probably
of
because you were
those.
shopping with Bolton. So
Yeah.
Probably
Exactly.
right. There we
Alrighty.
Uh,
Well, welcome everyone. We are stoked to have you here today to talk about the new Corso Malomo integration. So we have, as you've already met them, Yao, our co-founder and CEO here at Malomo, and then the director of partnerships, Emerson Hammer at Corso, here to chat with you all today. Couple of housekeeping items just before we get started. So we will most lovingly love any engagement in the chat. I see that some people are already putting some comments and whatnot in the chat. I've said this, but Zoom does not let you change the default settings, unfortunately, for the chat. So make sure if you're hoping to send to everyone, to engage with everyone here on this webinar today, to change that message settings to not just send to hosts and panelists. And we will also be answering any questions towards the later half of the webinar in our strategy session. So I'll be making note of any of those questions if you want to send them when they pop up. And then we will be recording this and sending it to your inbox. You can, probably estimate having it in your inbox by tomorrow, midday. So if you have any questions around that, please feel free to ask, but that should be pretty straightforward. And then our agenda today is we'll be running through a quick overview of Malomo and Corso, and then we'll dive into the integration, what the two technologies are working, how they're working better together with a live demo, and then we'll have our strategy discussion and Q&A to follow up. So with that, I'm going to pass it over to Yao. And again, if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. I'll be monitoring those.
Awesome. Thank you, Mariah. Pleasure to have everybody join us today. Super excited to walk through this. This integration has been a couple months in the making and have had merchants using it kind of in stealth mode and getting some good results. So we're really excited to finally release it to the wild. So just, quick kind of 2-minute overview of Malomo. Order tracking is a really key touch point in your customer journey. Malomo helps you take control of the tracking experience. One thing that a lot of merchants who haven't kind of ventured down the order tracking space don't realize is that customers check their order status page on average about 4.5 times per order. And as a result of that, if you think about all the web traffic hitting your storefront, people going to browse and make purchases, about 1 in 5 visits is actually going specifically to look at the order status, to check on what's happening with their order. So this page is highly trafficked, highly engaged page in your arsenal around delivering a really good customer experience. And at Malomo, we help you take control of that page. So instead of sending all that traffic, to a carrier page, when that customer places an order, we help you migrate all of your transactional notifications post-purchase into your marketing platform of choice, like Klaviyo, Attentive, Yotpo, to be able to trigger your emails and your SMS messages from those platforms. Gives you a lot more control over the design and the content, and then it allows you to get ahead of any issues that might be occurring during the delivery experience. So when we're detecting problems that are happening, we can proactively notify your customers of those issues. And then when that customer clicks to track their package, we're taking them right back to your storefront to see the order status. So they get clear expectations around delivery that we get from carriers. And then the rest of the page is really used to help customers kind of automate common delivery issues, which we'll show you through our Corso integration today. As well as you can use that page as a marketing asset to drive customers right back into that buying funnel and making additional purchases. And so there's several kind of key benefits to controlling the delivery experience. Biggest ones, right, is you can drive repeat purchases up and you can drive support tickets down. So our merchant, American Tall, drove 17,000 orders last year, repeat orders from customers viewing the tracking experience, clicking through and making another purchase. And that over just a 12-month period. Brewmate seeing an insane 61% email open rate on these transactional emails that are being sent. Beauty of that, highly engaged, right? Customers want to understand where their order is, so they open these emails, they engage with them, helps drive better deliverability across your marketing email front. And then Suit Shop, one of our pioneer merchants on the Corso integration as well. They've seen CX tickets reduced by 40% around where's my order. So these results are pretty typical of what we see across our merchant base, and we'll talk about how merchants are kind of using the new integration to get some of these results as well. So I'm going to pass it over to Emerson to kind of give us a quick overview of Corso.
Yeah, no, I think first, before getting to the Corso stuff, what we love about Malomo is you've taken a very stale industry. I mean, you look at those tracking pages, the carrier tracking pages are so boring. I mean, whenever no one gets hyped on supply chain, like my whole career has been supply chain, no one ever is like, oh, dude, you have the sexiest job working in a warehouse, fulfilling orders, doing all this stuff. Like, no one thinks supply chain sexy. But you guys have done a great job of tweaking that. Instead of going to a boring carrier page, like people get excited, you can get excited about like, hey, that page is like so beautiful. And it's like really tailored to the brand and controlling that experience. So for most supply chain softwares or any of my operators out there, We all know what supply chain software looks like, and it looks like it's like a 1980s Microsoft Word kind of thing. It's very archaic. So you guys done a great job of really making something that isn't branded in general, and making that feel cohesive to the brand. So that's one thing that we're stoked about, working with Malomo. It just kind of fits the culture of Corso as a whole, and really kind of adding that perspective and that aspect to the entire post-purchase journey. So, kind of an introduction into the Corso Green Shipping Protection product. What green shipping is it protects packages that get lost, damaged, or stolen in transit. So, as Maloma does a great job of reducing those WISMO concerns of where's my order, Corso acts really hand in hand with that process of being able to, when there is an issue with an order, a customer's tracking their order, hasn't, and they have an issue with it of, hey, the tracking shows marked as delivered, but it's not actually delivered. What happens in that situation? A lot of times the merchant, you're putting like a track and trace on that package. You have to trust the customer. Did it get delivered? Did it actually not get delivered and whatnot? And at the end of the day, usually the brand foots the bill, regardless of who's actually at fault for that package not getting delivered. And it comes out of the brand's pocket to replace those orders and get that taken care of. So what the Corso Green Shipping Protection product does is it offsets those costs, those expensive costs of replacing those orders. So the customer, as you see in the screenshot on the right, is the customer can add green shipping protection to their cart at checkout, and provides a quick and easy solution to when something happens to their package. We also include carbon offsets on that. So included in that shipping protection price is the amount we're offsetting the carbon emissions for that package. So we're calculating, hey, this package is shipping from New York going to California. It's a 5 pound package. It's emitting 5 grams of carbon, whatever it is. We use a certified carbon offset calculator to calculate those emissions. And then through our carbon offset partners, we offset those emissions. So your final mile delivery is carbon neutral. A lot of people kind of have some questions about like, hey, what does that necessarily entail of protecting your order? What's the benefit to the customer? What's the benefit to the brand? On the customer aspect of it is that customers getting a 1 hour response time on that claim being filed, and they get to file that directly with the Corso Concierge team to get any issue they have taken care of. So that is regarding anything like, hey, this package has been stuck in the Nashville hub. It's not moving. What's happening? The Corso team is going to work through those solutions, and within 24 hours, give a resolution. Say, hey, we either if it's say, hey, this is within SLA, it's stuck there for a day or two. It should be on track again tomorrow. Let's get that delivered. That could be part of the resolution. Part of it could be, hey, it's stuck in Nashville. Carrier can't find it. We're going to reorder that item at full retail value from the merchant and reship it back out to the customer. So we reduce the amount of CX tickets or inquiries being generated, because all those claims go directly to the Corso team, and then that customer is getting a quick and easy resolution to their problem. So we highlight customer satisfaction to see below, an average of 99.4% customer satisfaction with less than a 1 hour response time to get these issues taken care of. So our goal and where we work so great with Malomo on this is again creating this a beautifully branded experience through the whole process as well, to make this program feel like it's part of and works in conjunction with the brand and the brand CX's team. So brands leverage Corso more as an appendage to their CX team, of letting Corso help manage any of those shipping concerns or questions your customers might be having, and we can streamline those processes to get those issues taken care of. And then kind of highlight some of the integrations that we have right now with and in partnership along with Malomo. Some of our brands is highlighting kind of the effectiveness of this brunt work. We're seeing over 96% CSAT customer satisfaction with the program. This is just related to the shipping protection aspect of it. So this is customers that come to us, usually ticked off, their package was lost, damaged, stolen, whatever happened to it. The package delivery did not meet their expectations, and we're able to turn those angry customers into happy customers. So it's a great CSAT score, specifically into that niche of the customer experience journey. We're seeing with Honeywell over a 70% order attachment rate of customers having shipping protection on their orders, and really seeing the benefit of having this program on their store, as well as Suit Shop kind of seeing some of the volume of that, of handling a decent amount of these claims that usually Suit Shop would just send out replacement orders or be spending a ton of time working on track and trace solutions for it. Of course, I was able to manage those claims for them. So really making an impact for these brands in multiple different ways.
Amazing. Thank you, Emerson. Like I'm excited to dig into these stats in the strategy session and kind of ask you a few questions around that too, because you guys do a phenomenal job of caring for your customers and your customers' customers.
Yeah.
Um, so why did we build an integration? Like what caused us to go down the path of integrating these two solutions together? With all the integrations that we do, it was driven by merchant demand. We had merchants coming to us saying, we really care about the customer experience. We want to ease the burden on our CX teams when packages do go lost, get stolen, are damaged during the delivery experience, and we want to make the experience of filing these claims seamless. One thing that we've seen, this is a stat that Gorgeous has shared from some of the data that they've captured. Brands that have a CSAT score of 5 or better see a 43% increase in repeat purchase rate. So this is a really key driving factor for us. And like, if we're able to improve any part of the customer journey, right, and raise that CSAT score, we improve the odds that we can get those customers to repurchase with you down the road, right? When they run into issues and we can figure out a way to resolve them in a really kind, seamless, enjoyable way for that customer, not only will that customer hopefully make another purchase, they become advocates for your brand as well. And so these are real testimonials from some suit shop customers who interacted with the Corso reorder integration, right? Where they really comment on the speed, the service, how the company actually cares about them when these issues go wrong. So the impact is real and it's visceral. And so that's why we've built this integration, right? To make this entire experience feel seamless, feel incredibly jointed, and match your brand standards. Um, so with that, I'm going to show the integration off a bit and how it works, and then we'll dive into strategy session and some questions for Emerson here. Um, so we'll start with just creating a tracking page, and then how do you kind of enable the integration? So I'm not going to actually build a tracking page, but I'm in the Malomo dashboard. If you're using our tracking page creator feature, all you'll do is click create a tracking page and fill out some basic information. And when you do that, we'll publish a new page to your Shopify storefront. In order to customize that page and enable the Corso integration, so I've got this page kind of already designed out here inside of Shopify. What I'll do is I'll go to the shipment tracker, and at the bottom under integrations, you'll add your Corso shop ID. So the shop ID, you'll contact the Corso team to get that ID, and once you've got it, you can just plug that information in here, and the integration is enabled. As simple as that. Once it is enabled, your customers who have purchased protection on their order will start to see a new tile pop up on their tracking block that says, if your order is lost, you can start a reorder request. And when the customer clicks that, we deep link them into their order and Corso to start the claims process. So I'm going to stop sharing, and I'm actually going to hand it over to Emerson to let him walk through what that claims process actually looks like.
Sweet. So yeah, kind of highlight kind of some of the benefits to this. So we're seeing with Suit Shop, for example, as a shared customer on this, is about I think it's 55 to 60% of their claims being reported come through this integration. So where Corso differentiates from other protection agencies in the industry is, I always kind of say it like we were the best at being the worst in business on it, where we want customers to get the solutions they need. We want them to get their packages. So we make it super easy and transparent for these customers to file those claims. So with this integration with Malomo, kind of highlights that, where first off, if a customer is getting ship protection on their order, it's because they need it, they want it, and we want to provide that service. There's not a ton of hoops to jump through. We make it very simple to use this integration. That's why we wanted to partner with Malomo on this, as customers were asking for it. like I was saying, and then also it just makes sense. It makes it such a cohesive, uh, streamlined process for the customer and for the merchant. So that's why we wanted to we prioritize this integration. So once the customer has an issue with their package, they're going to be able to track their order information here, and they're going to tell us what was wrong with their package as a whole. So it's like, hey, if that package was marked as delivered but wasn't received, item was damaged, lost in transit, whatever it was, we're just going to collect some of that information. So instead of doing multiple emails back and forth, we're able to collect all that information right there. From here, the customer can answer anything else of like, I checked my Ring doorbell and a package was never delivered or whatever it might be. I always love these looking at some of these responses because you get some people that write just no or not here or something, and then you have people that write a whole novel about how they bought their order and the whole thing. So it's always fun to kind of go through and get to see the chatty customers and the non-chatty customers coming through. It's going to highlight the product that they purchased at checkout, what they're filing a claim for. There's multiple items in there. If there's multiple shipments, what part of the shipment got lost, damaged, or stolen, so they can filter all that information out and then submit that request. So super easy. In that situation, there's just like two questions that a customer has to give us some information for, and then that claim gets submitted to our Corso concierge team. That opens a ticket up in our on our dashboard, where we're able to look at the order, check out the tracking information, and then from there find the resolution if it's either working with the carrier to get it delivered, waiting for it to get delivered on time, seeing what happens in the next step. Like we highlighted before, within 24 hours, they'll have a resolution to the customer. I'll let them know these are the next steps of how we're gonna get that package delivered. Again, if it was marked as damaged and they uploaded images of the damaged product, our team's going to be able to notify, okay, that was a shipment and damage issue. Let's get that reshipped out to the customer and taken care of. Where we differentiate from other either insurance agencies or providers out there is instead of us just sending you a check of saying, hey, this item was lost in transit, it was $100, and then most insurance companies will write you just a check saying, here's a $100 reimbursement to the brand, and the brand still has to take care of that order. Through the Corso integration with Shopify, we are able to repurchase that item from the brand directly and then reship it to the customer. So it's really eliminated that whole entire CX interaction that might be required of us doing all the heavy lifting for the brand and for your customer to get that quick resolution. Instead of filing a claim over here, going to another person to actually place the order physically in your Shopify store, we do all that entire process all within one fell swoop. It makes it super easy and seamless for the brand and for the customer.
Love it. Love it. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you, Emerson. That was really cool to see and super. We often say, we try to make these processes really easy and quick, and like in literally three clicks,
Mhm.
that customer can file a claim and get a replacement order sent to them. Like that's kind of, I don't know, it feels kind of magical. It
Yeah,
almost feels like a cheat code.
Disneyland, man, we did it. We're the new Disney.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Um, so like tell me, so you and I were talking about this a little bit. So we're gonna dive into kind of strategy and Q&A. But maybe I want to start here just super high level and then we'll get very tactical. So we were talking about this yesterday. How do you think CX has changed over time? Like it seemed like, yeah, a lot of the industry was very much driven by reactive support, but I'm curious how you're viewing it at Corso.
Yeah, I mean, I think like 5 to 10 years ago, kind of automation started coming into the CX world more than it has in the past. And I think there was some kind of like hesitancy of like, no, I want to have that brand relationship. Like I want to personally respond to all the emails that I can. And then about 5 years ago, some more automation kind of came in. People kind of got more adjusted, like, okay, I can send out automated responses. I can have canned responses. I can have flows and whatnot. And so people kind of got more accustomed to that. And then I think in the past, like, yeah, 3 to 5 years, like self-service is the way to go. Like customers, they don't necessarily want to talk to you. That actually adds more friction to it. And they just want a response. They're not trying to build a relationship online. I was working with a merchant a couple months ago, and they were like, hey, they really hesitated to add any automation to their CX experience because they wanted to build that personal relationship. And they realized, oh, that personal relationship actually is like hurting my brand. They don't actually want to be my friend. They want the product. They want it to get delivered, whatever it was. And so that friction caused more of an issue. And so I think through this process of, hey, if a customer can self-serve, they just want the fastest response. If they want to chat with you, maybe they'll enter your chat bot or whatever it is, if they want human interaction. But a majority of customers want to streamline that aspect of it. And so if you can streamline it. Kind of stuff we haven't touched in. There's a lot we can go on. Part of the Corso platform as well is we don't just do shipping protection. We also automate your returns, your exchanges, product warranty claims as well. So really streamlining any issue that might occur post-purchase, we can streamline and automate through that whole entire process. It makes it super seamless. So I think customers are more open to that aspect. I'm really interested to see what happens with the AI in the space. I think there's spots for AI and there's spots for automation, and just making sure you're using the right tech at the right place makes sense.
Love it. Yeah, go
Love
ahead,
it.
Mariah.
Yep, we have a couple of questions coming in. So this first one is from Marco and Emerson. It's for you. He said, it sounds pretty straightforward. Does this open up the door for fraud/wrong claim? So if you could speak to that real quick, that would be great.
Oh yeah, no, that's a great question. So yeah, I mean, there's always abusers of any system. So you want to make sure that you have good processes and checks and balances in place. So Corso, Concierge team is great about being able to mitigate those risks. So we keep all that information on file, and we can check and see who's a repeat offender, the likelihood of this fraud. So we do have checks and balances in place of seeing, hey, why would this be a fraudulent order? If there ever is a claim that we deny or aren't able to resolve for whatever reason, we have great integrated or Slack channels or email messages and great relationships with all the brands we work with. So there's a customer we're saying, hey, this customer is looking like they are a fraudulent customer. Let's take a look at this and see why this might be a fraud. We'll let the brand know of saying like, hey, this customer has filed 5 claims for whatever reason, and we can tell, hey, it's going to the same address. They're changing their email, same IP address. There's a lot of indicators we can look at to prevent that fraud and really streamline that process as well. But yeah, great question. But we do have checks and balances in place to mitigate that risk.
And
Wonderful.
then real quick, Mariah, I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
go ahead.
If fraudulent claims come up, right? Is the brand responsible for like footing the bill on those things, right? Or does Corso kind of manage that?
Yeah, so of course, so as far as like the shipping protection, again, we're not like a payment gateway blocking like chargebacks and stuff like that. That's not necessarily our service of preventing fraudulent purchases. But as far as fraudulent like shipping claims going through, then yeah, so if someone's abusing the system of saying like, hey, this package marks as delivered, but it's really not delivered, and they do that multiple times and whatnot, we're gonna cover it. Like they bought shipping protection on that aspect, and then we'll either be able to flag that for the future order or whatnot. But Corso covers those situations.
Wonderful. Thank you. We had a question around the pricing structure from the customer side and the brand side. So I think that great follow-up question there. And then do you want to add in from the customer side the cost real quick, Emerson,
Yeah,
for adding
sure. Yeah,
shipping?
sorry, I think I'm gonna brief over that. That was great. So on our side, it's typically around 2 to 3% of the cart value is the cost for shipping protection to the customer. There's no additional cost to the brand on it. And again, kind of highlighting we are the best at being the worst business people out there. When you use the Corso shipping protection platform, again, highlight we have our returns and exchange warranty product as well. Those softwares come included with that. So you can get those at no additional cost when you use our shipping protection program. Again, returns, exchange, automated returns, exchange, warranty platforms, all included with the shipping protection program that your customers are paying for at checkout. So it really streamlines and integrates that entire post-purchase journey. But there's different love working with the brands on it and making that pricing make sense for the brand and for the customers. But those are kind of our out of the gate pricing that we typically work with.
And
Great.
then real quick, if you leverage the integration between both platforms too, there's no added cost to use the integration if you're both a Malomo and Corso customer.
Love it. And then one quick question before we wrap up, around if a part of the order is damaged, how do you go about that? Do you require photo proof or nothing at all? I know we walked through a little bit of the customer sharing what they're experiencing, but what happens if part of the order is
Yeah,
only
great question.
parts only damaged?
Yeah, so we go through that, and usually we do require a photo upload of it. And so we can see, hey, they say this is the product that was broken. If there's 5 items in it and just one item is broken, again, through our APIs, we have to first look at to know that which item was broken. So we will get some clarification, excuse me, with the customer on that, and then we'll be able to place that replacement order for that one specific item through the API as well and streamline that entire process.
Wonderful. Well, with that, I think we're at time. Yao, Emerson, any final comments you'd like to share with everyone who joined us here today?
No, I would say, yeah, if you're interested in checking the integration out, both the Corso and Malomo teams are happy to get the integration set up on either side. If you are a new Corso customer, existing Malomo customer, we are offering 1 free month of Malomo if you do decide to work with Corso and give the integration a spin. But yeah, like we're excited to release this. Emerson, anything you'd want to add?
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm really excited about this. As yeah, as we were talking the other day about it, is this integration really, I think, helps brands rethink what their CX is doing, what it's about. Most customers, most brands are seeing anywhere between like 45 to 65% of their inbound inquiries are related to the post-purchase. If it is tracking, returns, exchanges, warranties, whatever it is, that's a big chunk of what your CX team is trying to manage. And our platform is working together in harmony, streamlines that entire process. So it really helps you refocus the initiatives that your CX team is working on, of have them be available on live chat during checkout, helping with the sales process, promoting the products and whatnot, and really streamlining that aspect of your business, and let Corso and Malomo handle that post-purchase lift for you guys to refocus and rethink that whole process. But excited for what we have right now, where we're continuing to grow together, and really make some waves in the market. It's an exciting spot to play in for sure.
Love it. Okay. Well, with that, there's some emails that we have in the chat, but all that information will be in our follow-up email that you can expect with the recording and whatnot, more information tomorrow. But thank you both, Yao and Emerson, for a amazing strategy session on our newest integration. And then thank you all to our attendees for taking the time to join us during your lunch hour today. It's been a blast.
Appreciate
Awesome.
it, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks,
I'll
everyone.
see
Bye
you.
now.